Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for joining me this week. So this week I'm going to be talking about something quite controversial again, and it's to do with AI detector use. So if you're interested in exploring all of the research about using AI detectors, the software that gives you percentages and alerts of where AI use may have been used, then please keep on watching. Okay, so last week, Claude released great news that we could connect different apps to Claude and Claude Cowork, and one of them is Consensus. So Consensus is a wonderful research tool that I use and subscribe to, but there is a free version. So if you want to just sign up for free and then connect Consensus to Claude, then you can go ahead and do that. But I've been an early adopter of using Consensus because for me, the research is really important. I don't trust everything that I read on the internet or even with any AI output. And I want to see the original research papers, and I also want to actually reference them and see exactly where an idea has come from so that I can verify that information. And I do worry that there's going to be this whole generation of misinformation and disinformation in terms of AI use. So I can't stress enough how important it is to still continue to look at the research, to read original articles and synthesize for yourself. Like an AI tool may save you time in terms of giving you the synthesis, but please go and verify and cross-check. And that's quite easy because normally most tools will give you the link to go and do that. So I'm just going to go into my Claude. I've got my VPN on because Claude, we can't use it in Hong Kong. So let me just share my screen. Okay, so here is my Claude app, and you can use the web version as well. So you don't have to just use the app. And here you've got a few menus: new chat, search, and customize. So I press customize, and then you go to connectors. And then when you go to connectors, you see I've already connected my consensus, but let me just talk you through how you do this. And I must say, Claude, your UX isn't great. Like, I really had to search how to do this, how to connect, and even like search and research what skills are and how to use this. So I can't say it's the most user-friendly app, to be honest. I'm a big fan of Manus, as you all know if you've been following my channel, and you don't even have to research anything with Manus. Everything is on one, space, and you can do anything in that one space. Anyway, so what you do is you go to connectors, you add the plus sign, and you can browse the connectors, and let's just see what we've got. Okay, so there's all these connectors. Figma is here, Notion is here, Stripe, PayPal is here, Wix is here. But let's say at the moment, I want to do some research on AI detectors. So if you just look up consensus, it should come up straight away. Oh, there it is. It's at the top. Now, I'm not going to click on this because I've already connected it. But actually, let me just show you what it looks like. So here it says disconnect. You would have a connect thing here. And then it takes you into the browser and the consensus website. And then you have to just give it permission to connect. So I'm connected already. You can see, and then I'm just going to close that window, and then I'm going to go to new chat. Okay, so let's just see if the consensus is working. I'm going to look for all the latest research on AI detectors. So let me just dictate that. Can you give me the latest research on AI detectors and how effective they are? And then let's press the enter button. All right. And then if that's using consensus, a little consensus icon will come up. It's actually searching the web at the moment. So how do I get it to use consensus? Okay. This is not using consensus at the moment. So I wonder how I use consensus in this. See how it's not very user-friendly. Okay, I worked out why consensus was not being connected and also why I wasn't getting the result. But when I actually put in search academic research, then I knew it said search the web, loaded tools, use consensus integration. So I think you have to use it, you have to use the words academic research. Last time, if you have a look, this was my prompt, the latest research, and then it just searched the web. But as soon as I said academic research, it used consensus. So this has got consensus. And when this was coming up, I had the consensus icon coming up. So here's the research. Look, it actually gives you the proper papers, the research as well. And it says the research is that AI detectors work reasonably well under ideal conditions, but fall short of reliability needed for high stakes decisions. So let's emphasize that. A widely cited 2023 study found that available detection tools were neither accurate nor reliable and showed a main bias towards classifying output as human written rather than detecting AI generated text. Okay, and so there's lots of papers here. Look, bias against non-native English writers. I share that in a lot of my workshops. The evasion problem. So a major vulnerability is that AI detectors are relatively easy to circumvent. Okay, so feel free to, I'll put a link to this in the comment section below so that you can read this yourself. And I'm sharing this research from Consensus so that you can really understand and hopefully I'm discouraging the use of being over reliant on AI detectors, especially in high stakes testing, high stakes assessment, and academic integrity. As a way to promote academic integrity, we shouldn't be using the policing model. So we've got false positives, false negatives, human detection ability, so that this research found that people who frequently use ChatGPT for writing tasks are significantly better at spotting AI texts than non-expert users. However, most people perform poorly at this task. Even the best human detectors only approach the accuracy of the best automated tools. And the key takeaway, so let's just look at the key takeaway. The academic literature points to several consistent conclusions. First, commercial paid tools outperform free alternatives, but none is foolproof. Second, all detectors are vulnerable to evasion through paraphrasing and editing. Third, the significant bias exists against non-native English speakers and potentially neurodivergent writers. Fourth, performance degrades as language models become more sophisticated. Tools that worked well against GPT 3.5 often struggle with GPT-4 and newer models. And finally, researchers broadly recommend that these tools be used as one input among many rather than a sole arbiter of academic integrity. I couldn't agree more. And then lastly, as the systematic review in 2026 put it, detection accuracy averages 80 to 99%. It's quite a big range on in-domain benchmarks, but drops to 60 to 75% against adversarial attacks or cross-domain attacks, a gap that remains a fundamental challenge for the field. Okay, so I hope that that was convincing for schools of why we shouldn't be over-reliant on AI detectors, but also how we can use consensus and connect that to our Claude. You can also connect it to ChatGPT as well, and it's good to see these large language models really opening up our research capabilities. Consensus is used by many universities. It draws upon millions of research papers from academic libraries, and it's easy for us to verify and cross-reference a lot of the ideas. So I'll put a link in the comment section below, and I hope you found this useful. Thank you so much for joining me this week, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.